for the setting of the poem, you will write desert setting. You're writing for the desert with a ruined statue. Write that. Desert setting with a ruined statue. Okay. Have you written the first one? What have you written? First you read out, then we'll go to question number 5. Wait, Ayush, wait. Have you finished first one? Acha, continue, but don't go beyond first question. First we will discuss. If I have to add something, we'll add, then you will go to the next question. Okay? Yes. You are finished? Acha. Don't go to the next question, no? Complete the first one first. Finished? Okay, tell me what have you written.
The setting of the poem Ozymandias, according to the poem, is in the desert as narrated by ancient travelers. Limitless sand and a sculpture of Ozymandias, with his scattered visage lying on the ground with a trunkless body.
Okay, very good.
And also with a pedestal written I am Ozymandias, the king of the kings of the what we wrote and whispered, but nothing correct.
Okay, very good. Last part is not required. This much is absolutely correct. Very good.
The setting of the poem Ozymandias is in a vast desert in which the traveler tells the story of the ruins present in the desert of a statue. He tells how the king's arrogance led to the future in which his empire has been forgotten by everyone. The traveler tells how the statue is the story of the statue.
Okay, fine.
Setting up the poem shown that there is no one of the statue which was made once upon a time to very of Ozymandias to assume himself to be king.
Okay, okay. So it also shows the destruction. Right now, if another question is added to it, will you add another question that how does, will you write it down here? Now there can be two questions, two parts to the question. What is the setting of the story which you have already written? And how does this desert setting reinforce its theme? how does this desert setting reinforce its
Violated that also.
actually, you have already covered this. You have already, but write down the question. Okay. So, what is the setting and how does it reinforce the its theme? Yeah, he has already written, but just add the points. What you have to write in point form. I'm telling you, you just add over there. Okay, if this question comes, what is the setting and what does it represent or how does it re-emphasizes the theme? Okay, the setting of the poem. So write that down. Highlights the transience of human achievements. Highlights the transience of human achievements. I'm giving you in sentence form, but you will write down the points.
What is that?
The transience of human achievement. Transience means not permanent, temporary. Okay, the temporary nature of human power achievements. Okay, the transience of human achievements and inevitability of decline. Inevitability. INEVI. Evitability. TABILITY. Inevitability means something that is bound to happen. You cannot change it. Inevitability of decline. Inevitability of decline. Reflecting the yeah, only this much is fine. So these 2 points, if you are not required. If you were at these 2 points, this is enough. How does it re-emphasizes the theme of the poem? So what is the theme of the poem? Basically, it is a transience of human power. So through that setting, it re-emphasizes the transience of human achievements and also the inevitability of decline. Right? So somewhere there is a decline in the human power. Okay, fine. So add these 2. Because this question may come, what does the setting, how does it help in reinforcing the themes? Okay, fine. Now let us write down the question number 5. Okay, so what is question number 5? What does the sand represent, right? So it will be more or less the same answer. Just remember, just write down 3 points around which you need to elaborate. Write down one is, sand is a symbol of endlessness of time. Okay, sand is the symbol of endlessness of time. Why endlessness of time? Because it is sand which is used in the hourglass, right? So sand is the symbol of endlessness of time. Then you need to write about it represents the ultimate power of nature. The ultimate power of nature. Showing how human power is insignificant against natural forces. How human power is insignificant against natural forces. Okay, and then the third point, which you have already mentioned in the first question, that is the futility of Ozymandias' pride. Okay, pride and ambition. It also shows the futility of Ozymandias' pride and ambition. Okay, so it also shows the futility of Ozymandias' pride and ambition. Okay, you have written that point, right? Third point right now. So these are the 3 points around which you need to write this, the significance of the sand. Okay? And what does it emphasize? So around these 3 points, you elaborate a little bit example. Okay? Now write down. What is the 6th question?
What does this statue symbolize in the poem Ozymandias?
The statue. Okay, then we will take up the statue one. I'll give you the points, you write down the answer.
Should I write?
Now you write down the fifth answer. This was the fifth one, huh? This is the one that I gave you just now. This was the fifth one. Okay. Write down the fifth question.
So we have to write first one once again.
Huh?
To write first one again.
Yeah, I gave you only the points. Now, what did I say? You need to elaborate around these points. Okay. I gave you in point form. Now you write down the answer in sentences. Add 2-3 points in sentences and around those points that I have given you the examples. Now you have written the first answer. Similarly, you write this. All the answers like what does hand represent, what does the statue represent, they represent almost the same thing. Okay, all talks about the destruction of human achievements and nothing else. Okay, but just you need to reframe the sentences. Okay, done. Finished? Okay. Now let us discuss the statue one. It's the same thing. Inevitability of what did we write for this? Inevitability of
Right.
sorry? Inevitability of pride is what? Inevitability means that is something that is going to happen. What did you write just now for the sand? Inevitability of the
The human power.
yes. Of the destruction of the human power, right? Yes. So the same things. Should I give you the answer? Should I give you this answer about the statue? Okay, write this down. The poem uses the statue. The poem uses the statue as a symbol. Question number 6. Okay. The poem uses the statue as a symbol to explore the themes of power, decay, and time.
As a symbol.
A symbol to explore the themes of power, comma, decay, and time.
Power decay.
Power, comma, decay, and time by depicting the contrast between Ozymandias, how do you write? Ozymandias then apostrophe, Ozymandias, because since it ends with an S, therefore we will not write S after apostrophe. After Ozymandias, you will put apostrophe. Okay? So, Ozymandias is boastful inscription, boastful inscription, boastful inscription, inscription. Okay, it was inscribed there, the King of Kings, so boastful inscription, and the reality of the empire's decline. And the reality of the empire's decline. And the reality of the empire's decline. Good stop. The statue's decay, serves as a powerful symbol. The statue's decay serves as a powerful symbol of the transience of human achievements. The transience of human achievement. That means the temporary nature of human achievements. So the transience, TRANSSIENCE, transience of human achievements, comma, highlighting how even the greatest civilizations eventually crumble. Highlighting how even the greatest civilizations eventually crumble. It symbolizes the inevitability of decline, inevitability of decline. It symbolizes inevitability of decline. Inevitability of decline, and the importance of humility. What is humility? Being humble. We should be humble in our power, right? We should not take so much of pride because everything is going to be destroyed at some point of time. It also shows the importance of humility. Okay, full stop. Now there is another aspect to it. What is it? Now, though it has been destroyed, though the statue is destroyed, but at the same time, work of art. It is a work of art. So though it is destroyed, but still it is not completely destroyed. So it shows the endurance power, the power of endurance of the work of art. Okay, so that is another aspect. Now, you may write it, you may not write it, because that is the secondary one. Okay, so you write it, you can just write it optional, write that down. That is the statue's enduring presence, the statue apostrophe S, the statue's enduring presence, ENDURING, enduring presence, comma, despite its decay, also reflects the enduring nature of art. Also reflects the enduring nature of art. Okay? This is an optional one. You may or may not. Okay? Okay. Now, which question are we going to write? I will check later. I will do this one. Let us take the question number 7. Question number 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 10 we can't do because it is a comparative question. 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Okay, we can write now. But then years now. So the 7, 8, and 9, right? Then day after tomorrow, after we complete this, we will come back to this question. Okay, so this 7, 8, and 9. It's question 7, 8, and 9. What is the 7th question?
Tell that its sculptor will those passions lead which yet survives down these lifeless things. What do you understand by the word passions in the above lines?
Yeah. What do we understand by the word passion? You have missed out anything? Have you missed out any point? Finish that word properly? The previous answer? Question number 6 that was.
The art of making money.
Sorry, what?
The art of making money.
Yes, the art of,
Right.
yeah. So you first should take out that line. Take out the book. Where was this line? Yes. The sculptor, he made the work of art. He wanted to reflect as the person was. Right? So it shows that the sculptor was very passionate about his work of art, right? About his work, and that was the reason why he could reflect the real person as what he was through his work of art. Because it shows the sneer lips, it shows that he was mocking at the people around him. So he was too proud of himself, of his power. Right? So, and the sculptor too brought out the same nature, the personality of the king. Right? So it shows he was actually passionate uh, art lover, or he was passionate about his work of art. Right? So the sculptor interprets Ozymandias, capturing his commanding presence and possibly critiquing his character through the statue's expression, which remains even in the decade, providing a lasting commentary on the ruler's personality. Okay, so it really reflects the personality of the king, and give one or two examples of that. Okay. So I repeat, the sculptor is able to interpret Ozymandias, capturing his commanding presence and also critiquing or criticizing his character through the statue's expressions. And you can give examples of his sneer and mocking hands of those expressions, which remains even in the decade. Though everything is decayed, but that still remains and providing a lasting commentary on Ozymandias' personality. So basically, it reflects his personality. Okay? Right. Writing your own words.
Eighth question.
No, seventh one, no? Passion one. What happened?
Who is writing man?
Huh?
Who is writing man?
By mistake? You brought two notebooks?
I'm just a math notebook.
One draft notebook.
That math notebook is writing.
Everything is written.
The only math is reading.
6 years of process.
Right? Right down. Then I will check on your writing. Then we'll start up with the next one and then write also question answers like that. Then, then what is the next question?
We are
Acha, so read first, huh?
describe the statute of Ozymandias. Describe the statute of Ozymandias in the writing.
Okay, ठीक है, that तो we have already done, huh? The statue, you need to describe, I said, you need to describe the statue. Okay, the lips, how the lips, the limbs. Okay, though it is called countless, but still the lips and the limbs are being described. Countless means the upper part, body part is not there, but still the lips are being described. Which means it will be the upper part, body part was there, but it was in under. Right, so,
All values,
yeah. So, okay. So you need to describe the statue. Describe it. That is easy. You can take it from the poem. See the poem and write this answer. And before that, you tell me what would you write for this. Read it up. You will go first. I don't need to go first. You will read out now.
The word fashion is about the pride of the Ozymandias. He for himself made a statue so that the future generation would memorize it. This also shows that the shows the love
Memorize
of
it. Okay. Make it memorable. Memorize it means something else.
This also shows the love of Ozymandias towards the beauty of art, and he chose the artwork to show his pride.
Okay. And what about the sculptors? You have to write about the sculptors' fashion. The one that they do. After that, you write that. Okay. How was the sculptor meticulously able to portray the personality of the king? That was more important. Okay. Understood? Okay, now you do it. What we have written is fine. After that, you add that one. I will not get marks.
fashion refers to the art of engraving of engraving over the stone, which forms a statue or a monument.
Okay.
The emotions of Ozymandias
Yes.
is very well depicted
Yes.
by the statue, its dimpled lips and the sea of
Right.
face.
Yes. Right. Okay, that was the same.
The word passion is about light, means how the sculptor passionately and cleanly sculpted each portion of the statue. By depicting the arrogant nature of Ozymandias with the art of sculpting, it depicted the facial expressions of Ozymandias in the statue like sneer, lips of command and
Okay, fine. Now the next question, describe the statue, will be the same answer, right? You have to describe the sneer lips and the mocking hands, wings and wrinkled lips. And sneer, what was sneer?
Sea of gold.
Acha. So all these you write down, almost the same answer. Would you like to write this down or some other question? It's almost the same answer. Very good. Now, I will give you one question. Okay, this is another important question. Write down this question. How does the poem's use of language, right? How does the poem's use of language, how does the poem's use of language contribute to its overall impact? Okay? How does the poem's language contribute to its overall impact? Written? Okay. Write down this answer. Language in the sense we will pick up some words and say how did those words help in portraying the theme of the poem. Okay? So write this answer. The poem's language with the phrases like the poem's language with the phrases like trunkless legs. Trunkless leg would be very important. Language with the phrases like PHRASES, phrases like trunkless legs, put it in inverted comma, trunkless legs, shattered visage, shattered visage, shattered visage, VISAGE, that also inverted comma, comma, vividly portrays the decay, vividly portrays decay, comma, emphasizing the contrast, emphasizing the contrast, emphasizing the contrast, emphasizing the contrast between past grandeur, past grandeur, GRANDEUR, past grandeur means past power, you know, the power that we have. GEUR, okay, grandeur. GRANDEUR, grandeur, okay, past grandeur and current desolation. And current, so the grandeur is a past now and current is desolation, destruction and desolation. Okay, and current desolation. Full stop. The contrast reflects the fleeting nature of power. The contrast reflects fleeting nature of power. What is fleeting nature? Which will pass by, right? It goes easily, vanishes easily. So the fleeting nature of power and the inevitability of decline. Something inevitability means something that is bound to happen. It has to decline one day. It has to be destructed one day. So these are the main themes, okay, which you can use for all answers. Do I have to repeat? Have you written?
Ma'am, we can write about more phrases.
Huh?
We can write about
Yes, write more phrases. Add more phrases to it. So basically the question is, how does the language depict the theme? Okay, the theme is the same. So you make one theme which you can use for all answers. Okay, because the sand also shows that the statue too shows the same thing, and even the setting shows the same thing, the desert setting. So everything shows it, even the language also depicts the same thing, right? The contrast between the past grandeur and the current desolation, the fleeting nature of power, inevitability of decline and destruction of human power and human achievements. Right? So you make one paragraph with all these words, which can be applicable to all the settings, the symbolism of sand, the symbolism of the statue, everything. It will be the same. Okay, fine. Now let us come to imagery question. You have an imagery question, right? Somewhere I saw in the module, the volume. You have a question on imagery, right? Yeah, what is the question? That is another very important because question because this poem is filled with imageries. Now, what do we mean by imagery? Now, before we come to this imagery question, can you tell
This
me
is
what
not
is?
about this. This is about the rhyme of action.
Acha, it's a contrast.
Interpret imagery and symbolism in the rhyme of ancient mariner as elements that contribute to the poem's overarching themes of retribution and redemption.
So it is not there. I think by mistake they have mentioned rhyme of engineering. It should be.
But in rhyme
The
of
themes
ancient
are
mariner, imagery is a lot.
But here also imagery is actually. Actually, in all poems, imagery has to be there. Imagery means what do we mean by imagery?
It depicts the image in our mind while reading the text.
What image?
He forms a certain image in our mind and releases.
Now, imageries can be of many types. What are those?
It can be visual imagery. It can be audio imagery.
Video.
Okay. It can be
Texture.
tactile imagery. Okay. Not audio, just known as auditory. Okay, auditory imagery. So there are different kinds of imageries. Now, what are imageries? Imageries are those the words the words are described in such a way that you can feel them through different senses. Okay, so if you are able to feel through your eyes, then it becomes visual imagery.
What is
that? That is touch. You know, there Keats, John Keats, we were talking about the romantic poets. John Keats. Now, day after tomorrow, we will take up Coleridge, right? So, John Keats, Coleridge, they all belong to this romantic period. Now, John Keats was a master of writing poems using imagery, different kinds of imagery, where he used to write words where you could actually probably feel the able to smell, able to feel. Then he wrote poems in such a way which would enable you to feel through your different senses. Okay, so he was a master in this, and that was the reason why he became the most famous among all the poets, romantic poets. Though Wordsworth was also very famous, but he became very special. Okay, so that is imagery, but majorly it is the visual imagery that are explained in the poems, that are expressed in the poems, and here also there is a visual imagery. Right? Okay. So take a break for 5 minutes. Then we'll come back to this imagery question. Then we will take up this. Symbolism means when one symbolizes something, it means something. Okay, for example, suppose there is a poem called Ungenital Tigers, where the tigers represent fearlessness. Okay, so the lady is doing an embroidery work of the tigers. So the tigers represent something. Fearlessness, the dominance. So that is symbolism. When one particular object or one animal or one or something, it represents something. Okay, so that is symbol. For example, over here, sand symbolizing destruction. What does it show? What does it express? What does it reflect? Okay, how can you associate with what can you associate with? Okay, so that is symbolism. Okay. Did you sign all of you?
I thought you were doing it.
Actually, 90%.
English speaking?
It is very different.
Easy time is one skills.
Really? Or I thought it has command. How do you want? I'm just being curious. Hello, day.
It's very negative. No, not very negative, but it's completely wrong answer. Come back quickly, yeah? We have to get back. Then come back.
Well,